What do you do when the one thing that kept you going is suddenly gone? This is the question our protagonist found himself grappling with as he opened the door to an echoing emptiness that was once brimming with love. A decade of shared dreams, laughter, and memories gone in an instant. The shock hit him first, a cold wave of reality washing over him, followed swiftly by an overpowering sadness that seemed to seep into his very soul. He had given her his heart, his trust, his unwavering faithfulness, and yet here he stood, feeling deceived, cheated. Their lives had been so intricately woven together. She was the rhythm to his melody, the color to his canvas. She was his muse, his motivation. But now, that motivation was gone, disappeared like a mirage. Here he was, alone, his source of motivation vanished. What was he to do now? When you're at your lowest, the climb back up seems impossible. But remember, it's during our darkest moments that we must focus on the light. In the eerie silence of his now empty home, our man grapples with his new, unexpected reality. A decade of companionship abruptly ended leaves behind a void that echoes with loneliness. He is a man used to motivation, a beacon for others. But now he finds himself in uncharted territory. His heart, heavy with loss, weighs him down, yet he knows that surrender is not an option. His work, a testament to his resilience, calls out to him. There are people, countless faces looking up to him, drawing strength from his words, his actions. They unknowingly lean on him, their faith in him unshaken. It's a responsibility, an honor he cannot forsake, even when his own motivation seems to have slipped through his fingers like grains of sand. In the deafening silence of his solitude, he begins his desperate search for motivation. He looks for it in the corners of his home, in the remnants of his past life, in the faces of those who look up to him, and in the depth of his own spirit. The struggle is real as the emptiness that surrounds him, but so is his resolve to rise above it. In the face of adversity, he had a choice, to surrender or to fight. He chose to fight. Sometimes, when we feel lost, we find our way in the most unexpected places. A man, bereft of his partner, his motivation, his constant, finds himself standing at a crossroads. The path he had been treading on so confidently now seems uncertain. But instead of succumbing to the despair, he makes a choice. A choice to seek strength, not from the world around him, but from a power beyond the tangible. His footsteps echo in the hallowed halls of a church, a place he hasn't visited in years. The tranquility envelops him, soothing his turbulent thoughts. He kneels, his heart heavy with pain, his eyes searching for answers in the divine. He prays, not for the return of his lost love, but for strength to accept the reality of his solitude. He prays for guidance, for a beacon to light his path in this newfound darkness. His faith in the divine becomes his solace. He believes that this too is a part of a grander plan, a plan he might not understand now, but one that will ultimately lead him to his destiny. He finds comfort in the belief that God is with him, guiding him through this labyrinth of emotions, towards a future he cannot yet see. He clings to his faith, a lifeline in the storm of his life. He believes that with God walking beside him, he can brave any storm, conquer any mountain. With faith as his compass, he began his journey towards healing. True motivation comes from within, and it's in our power to uncover it. Our man, in his solitude, started to find motivation in the most unlikely of places. He found it in the very people he had once inspired, their stories of overcoming adversities, kindling a spark within him. He realized that motivation wasn't something you could find or lose. It was something you had to create for yourself. He understood that happiness wasn't a destination, but a journey, a choice he had to make each day. He chose to embrace his pain, to learn from it, and to use it as a stepping stone towards his own growth. He found strength in his solitude, and in his decision to keep moving forward no matter what. He chose to be his own source of motivation, to be his own beacon of hope in the storm. In the end, he found his motivation not in the external world, but within himself, and that made all the difference.